Hi. Oh, I can't move. Oh, my mic's not on. Hello?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I can't really hear myself. Hello? Hello?
How come you can't hear
I
yourself?
don't know.
Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, jeez. Louise. How are you?
Okay, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Did you put anchor on?
Nah.
Okay. So, welcome to the old King Creative Talk podcast, where you get the latest and greatest information from Amber and Nebraska. I'm just doing a little intro while you get
That's very interesting.
while you get the anchor ready, which is our audio recording. I just thought I'd just do a little spiel.
Okay. Well, that was a great introduction. Welcome to Creative Talk Podcast. My name is KB. This is Amber King. We're the Kings doing King Creative stuff.
I'm the OG
Creative Talk
king.
Podcast.
He's the imposter king.
Whatever. You're the imposter.
Excuse me?
We both get just Anyway, what we're talking about today is going to be on the subject that we've seen. One of our probably favorite marketers, actually, he's been going around talking about stuff within the marketplace, within the arenas of like health, wealth, well-being, mindfulness, which is something that we're really into as well. So we'll be touching on that topic today and also sharing some insights from our side into how we do that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Won't we, Amber?
We will.
The original OG king.
I know. Yes.
Not that it matters, because now I'm a king too, so, you know.
That's the only reason you
And if
married
we
me.
really talk about it, how French are you?
Doesn't matter because the kings aren't French, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter 'cause you're not French at all. Anyway, there's this little joke that Amber thinks she's a little bit French,
No.
but she's not. It's been proven
not
by
even-
DNA testing and ancestry that you're actually
Look,
not French.
just talk to my mum, right? She's going to tell you she is. If I'm not, I don't know how she is.
But the funny thing is, I am.
Yeah,
And
that's
I
'cause
didn't even think I was.
You stole it, but you're also
I
like,
didn't steal it.
yeah.
And now we think they might have swapped over our DNA samples and maybe I'm hers and she's mine.
Yeah,
We're not sure, but it doesn't matter because I'm French and she's not. So back to what we're talking about before we kick off and talk about the subject of mindfulness and the activities that we do in a day-to-day business side, as well as personal, as well as relationship. I thought I'd just share a little clip of like our latest work because we don't actually talk about our stuff that often.
Share it.
Actually, do we? Yeah, I'm not sure if
What are you trying to do?
I like do it in a different size that actually shows the screen a bit.
Do it in that one.
Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that'll do, I suppose. So this is our latest clip with an illustrator artist by the name of Kat Young. And you can check out her her artwork on her Instagram or TikTok at Kat Illustrations.
Cat art illustrations.
She's an incredible artist, and we got to work with her with Lenovo, and we've sharing our story around her and what she's done. But I thought I'd just share this because we don't really get to show a whole bunch of our stuff with regards to what we do for work.
We don't.
No. So this one was actually filmed at her place out in Victoria, as well as where she works, which is this beautiful warehouse store here where she gets all her products from for her art, and her art studio, and kind of around the surrounding areas of where she's from.
Yes, it was a very it was a really good shoot actually. We did a lot during that time. We did a green screen studio shoot. We did on location.
Which is a lot.
We did a lot, and we did a photo shoot.
Yeah. We really pushed the boundaries on this particular campaign, and I think it's only like a minute 30 long as far as the video, which you can watch on our on any of our channels. It'll be on our social pages, but it actually took ages, eh?
Yeah, it took
Like
so
months.
long. Yeah,
Like 6 months, something like that.
not for editing. The editing was quick considering.
Yes. Yes, it was.
I know you work day and night on the editing. We got there.
Wasn't me that edited. It was our directors and our team that were doing a lot of it. But we got there. It's an amazing video. Go check it out. It's a story from Lenovo and Kat
It's on our Facebook page.
around her upcoming and current story and working with the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where are we off to next? To film in New Zealand.
We're going back home. Our next project is coming up in Aotearoa, which I'm pretty freaking excited about.
But we can't reveal too much. Let's just say it's going to be epic.
I'm really excited. I've always wanted to do content with creators back home, and I'm pretty stoked that we actually get to work with this particular person.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Oh, I shouldn't even say it.
Just don't say his name. No,
Awesome.
it's going to be cool. We're looking to film in October.
Yeah.
To have everything up on social in early December.
So it's exciting. We've also got events coming up here in Melbourne. We're doing the PAX event. We just finished doing DreamHack, which if you're a gamer and you've been to any of those or are going to be attending, come down and see us. We've got stands that are down at
PAX.
PAX with
Arena.
Lenovo, Intel, and also Lenovo, all doing amazing setups down there. You'll see when you get there.
JBL Quantum.
Going to be wicked. JBL Quantum, JBL, and a whole bunch of other. There's going to be so much cool stuff going on. We're going to be pretty busy over the next couple months.
Are you going to be dressed up in cosplay?
I may be Chewbacca.
You should go as Batman.
I kind of look like Chewbacca on a daily basis anyway, though.
That's right.
Except when I have a shave.
And that's when I have to deal.
If I have a shave, then I'm not so much Chewbacca.
Kia ora.
Hey,
te
kia ora,
whiki.
brother. Thank you for tuning in.
We're
Today...
just talking about how hairy Cabrasca is.
God.
He started it. He's going to be Chewbacca, but he already is naturally.
You
so.
asked me if I was going to wear cosplay, and I said yes, maybe. Who knows? You never know. Maybe. What are you going to be dressed as? A monkey.
I'm going to be just dressed as a disappearing act.
Is that it?
Yeah, because I'm going to disappear on out of there.
Oh, far out. The humour of Nana. Welcome to my world. It's like every day's great Nana jokes.
Look, I make you laugh, mate.
Where they don't even
You'd,
make
you'd,
sense.
if you didn't have me,
Spend
this
a
would
lot
be
of
your
time
life. Oh, it's
trying to work
sweaty.
out what's
Oh,
happening.
fish. Get the fish break. Oh, no, I can't get out. Oh, it's sweaty. Oh, my... I was just going to say something rude.
Yeah, I think
But,
you were too.
and then it would just be that. And eating pies and eating lollies.
Look, that
and
sounds
then,
like a pretty good
And
time.
then you would have no teeth.
And
You'd
some-
have no cat.
Some beer. Yeah, you'd be good.
No money.
It'd be
That's
good.
what would happen.
Anyway, today we're going to be touching on the subject of mindfulness and specifically gratitude. We've been watching a video lately from the guys at Vayner Media, Gary V, who's been talking about this subject of gratitude and how that really helps you as a business owner become successful. Us ourselves, we use gratitude on a regular basis. It's something that we have done for many, many, many years. And personally have seen the benefits of using it in different ways, different scenarios, whether it's personal, whether it's business. But Gary Vee uses it within his business and also his personal life on a daily basis. Across all the different businesses that he runs, across all the different countries he runs. Very similar to us. We run in 3 countries. We have different teams all over the place. And are also working with real massive brands like his company is doing in the US as well. So we thought we would share our gratitude tips and tricks on how we kind of navigate the space.
Yes.
So Nana, how do you use gratitude on a daily basis? What is your actual definition of what is gratitude? Because a lot of people have different things, right?
Yeah.
What's yours?
Mine is being grateful for something, but more than just like, I love my cat. You wouldn't just say that. You can say, I feel like you've got to go deeper. So I have a practice. My practice is so every day, every evening before I go to bed, I will get out my gratitude journal and I write 3 things that I'm grateful for that day.
And she does. She does it every day.
I do. I try to do it every single day and fill my book because for me it's a good reminder of what I already have. Because if you're always striving for new things, you don't appreciate everything that you already have, and then you'll never be happy because you're always, oh, I want that car, I want that house, I want that paycheck, oh, I want that, I want, and you're always left wanting because once you get it, you're not actually appreciating it. So my whole thing is about trying to appreciate what I do have, whether that's even like sometimes you might have a bad day, but you can find 3 things in your day that were good. So it could be like, I'm grateful for the man that held the door open for me, or I'm grateful for the service that I received at the cafe, or, I'm grateful for cuddles with my cat, or something like that.
Or a husband that's French.
Stop taking my thunder, mate.
No, that makes perfect sense, and you have to do that. But why do you do it? Why do you do 3 gratitudes first of all? And what is it about being grateful that has become a practice for you?
Okay, well, I do 3, excuse me, because I'm losing my voice. I do 3 because 1 I feel is not enough, and 10 is going to be too many to write. So I don't know, I just landed on 3 as I thought that would be a good number, and it's generally like it's easy enough to find 3 things to be grateful for in the day. And then what was your other question?
Don't know. It was why?
Why
So
do
why
I
3?
do it? Why 3?
And why did it become part of your practice? Like, why did you make gratitude out of all the things you do on a day to day? Why is gratitude one of them?
Because, as I said, if you don't appreciate what you currently have, then you'll never be happy. So that's one reason. So, and then also by being grateful for what you have, it puts you in a state of being or vibration that allows more of those good things to come into your life. Because if you're always complaining about stuff like, oh, I don't have enough money, oh, I can't do this, oh, I don't have the right clothes, I don't have this, I'm too fat, I'm da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
What's that attracting? That's attracting, well, 1, people are going to not want to talk to you because that's all you talk about. 2, it's attracting more of that back into your life because what you put out comes back to you. So if you're grateful for things, even if it's the tiniest little things, then I believe that more good and more of those good things will come to you.
That's a pretty good explanation of gratitude. It's very similar to mine as well, because gratitude has been something that has developed over time. I wasn't really like full on into gratitude, law of attraction, all those kinds of things were airy fairy, woo woo techniques of that just weren't real, weren't things I paid attention to. But now, all of those practices, from law of attraction through to gratitude, mindfulness, positivity, positive action, they're all part of my ritual to like sort shit out,
Yeah.
the good, the bad, the ugly, but just having a way where you can do it, and you can do it in little steps rather than trying to do it in really big mountains and really big journeys. Because any big project or any big thing you try to accomplish in life, whether it's business, a relationship, whatever, all comes down to those little moments that you have within your life, those decisions that you make. And sometimes you can be in a place where the decision you make is not really positive. Sometimes you make it under stress. Sometimes you can make it because you're in the wrong frame of mind. And what I find gratitude does is it helps you to stay on the right state of mind.
Yeah.
And when you're feeling grumpy or when you're feeling angry, which was my problem because I have a lot of anger, a lot of stress, especially managing and working in your own company. There's a lot of stress that you take on. And you kind of need those releases. A way to manage the stress, a way to get things out, and being grateful on a daily basis definitely helps you to calm that entire thing. That's what I use it for. And like Amber, she's got a daily practice. My one is like a ritual of just writing on a notepad. I leave it in the kitchen because that's where I spend most of my time, second to being on my PC. So every time I go to the fridge, if I'm going to eat something or if I'm going to fill up my drink bottle or whatever it is, I'll write something I'm grateful for. just to try keep me in the flow
Mm-hmm.
of that positive state of mind.
Yes.
And it could be really small stuff. Like I don't write like I'm grateful for, you know, the massive things that we've accomplished or whatever like that. It's more like, oh, I'm grateful for fresh water. I'm grateful for Kitty cuddling the cat. Or I'm grateful for the food we have in our fridge. It's really small stuff that we sometimes just overlook and take for granted.
That's the thing, because like so many people don't have fresh running water.
No.
So many people don't have food in their fridge. So they wish they had those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we can be grateful for those things, then I feel like it's, well, yeah, bring more, attract more.
Have you noticed that there's been a difference when we actually like embedded it into both our daily rituals and we started going in a different direction from the first like 4 years of us being in business till now? What do you notice that's the difference between then and now? Do you think there's a difference?
Sometimes.
I definitely do.
I think with you, because I mean, I'm more like methodical and I do mine every
Yes.
night on,
Yes.
not on a schedule, but like, you know, it's one of my things that I do every day, whereas you're more like sporadic. And then I see when when you are getting really stressed or really crazy things are happening, and then I'll say to you, have you done your gratitudes lately? And if then you usually haven't, because you're...
Because I'm getting angry or
Yeah,
getting
and
stressed
so
out?
I think that reminder to bring you back to it, do you feel that helps you?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. I feel that makes you calmer as well.
Yeah, it does.
Because it opens your eyes so that you can see, oh, okay, it's not that bad, or I do have something that I can look forward to, or, you know.
Yeah, and it's almost like an instant way of calming. Growing up in my family, there was a lot of violence that made us really angry and scared and fearful.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a lot of safety or security in that environment, and so we had to kind of create it ourselves. But being grateful was never one of those things.
Yeah, of course.
It was
of
running
course.
away or
Yours
being
is
safe and, you know, doing whatever you can to
exactly
kind of make it
trying
through.
to stay alive.
But
Yeah.
we made it out of there, and that like we managed to do a whole bunch of different stuff. My brothers and I have accomplished a lot individually, and we're now looking to work together as a family to do a whole bunch of stuff with my mum's land back home, which is really cool. And I'm really grateful for these opportunities to have with my family in that capacity, because I never thought we'd get to that kind of space at all. But being grateful allows me to think about things clearly. I think take a moment to just have a break, and also just take notice of how grumpy I get during the day.
Sometimes you get grumpy.
Sometimes I get pretty damn like grumpy on a regular basis, and so you have to, I don't know, you have to just like chill out sometimes.
I know, exactly. I think
I need to chill out. You don't. You're pretty like calm, cool, collective, whereas I'm like a freaking tidal wave.
you're a roller coaster
Yeah, man.
of emotions.
Yeah.
Usually that's the female, isn't it?
I don't know.
That's a roller coaster. I don't know. Maybe I'm your calming
You definitely are.
sidekick or something.
No, you're more than that. Way more than that.
Yeah, I think it's like, I mean, each of us has a different way of approaching things, but I think with gratitude comes, you know, one of the other things that Gary Vee talks about is complacency, and that's how a lot of people become complacent. We definitely sometimes are complacent because we're like, you know, how many times have we got a new client? We landed a new client, and then instead of celebrating, we're like, oh, there's going to be so much work to do. You know, and that's complacency, right? That's like, we should be like celebrating that we're grateful, like, yeah, that's awesome. We're so grateful for that new client. Instead, we're like, oh man, now I've got to do this and I've got to do that, you know? So I think it's about, instead of being complacent and just expecting things to happen and then they happen and it's like, oh yeah, whatever. It needs to be like, celebrate those little wins every single day or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and he talks about complacency differently as well. The way that he talks about it, a lot of people think it's incompetence or not keeping up with what you need to do. which is what it is, right? Especially when it comes to like getting to a point in either business or your life where you've reached a certain level and you're kind of getting to like a plateau. You know, that's where complacency kicks in.
Yeah.
After you've been doing, you know, new client after new client after new client for years and years, it can get a little bit like repetitive.
Yeah.
Can get a little bit like, oh, here we go again. And then that's when you start taking it for granted. And then when you start taking it for granted, the work output that you put towards that project, whatever it is, becomes lesser and lesser and lesser fulfilling to yourself. And so by having a practice of gratitude and also making sure that the things that you're working on are things that you actually care about, that kind of keeps you at a different level. Like when we first started in business, the things I noticed that are different now compared to how we used to be is we used to go for money.
Yeah.
It used to be money and that's it. It didn't matter how much these people had, whether it was $5,000 or $10,000 to us. That was a lot of money back then. Like, or it could be, you know, more than that. But we used to just try and make clients and make money for our first 2 to 4 years of business.
I mean, you do that because you're growing, right?
You do that.
Yeah.
But at the time, we weren't being grateful. We were just like scrambling.
Yeah, and we're taking on board clients that we probably shouldn't.
Clients that we didn't like, products that we didn't like,
believe in,
people that we didn't really like. It was like all of this stuff was just focused on money, and we didn't really focus on the rest of the stuff that mattered when it came to working with really good brands and working with great teams and doing all that kind of stuff. So it's shifted a lot through us using gratitude in the business. Now it's all about making sure that the content that we're doing is something we really give a shit about, because if it doesn't, then we don't really do it.
Yeah.
And then also working with brands that have similar ideologies as us, that look after their people well, that look after the planet, all these kinds of things. We never used to do that in the first phases of business either. So there's a lot of stuff that has come through gratitude, not just keeping me calm, but the way of us doing business, the way that we select our clients, the way that we create our content. It's all kind of done with that in mind, right?
Mm-hmm. It is. And we've even turned down big business
We did.
because it didn't fit in with us and we didn't get a good feeling about it. And I mean, lucky we did, because sometimes when we see afterwards that was a good decision not to take it on, because it would have been more headaches than you know.
That's a good point, because like through gratitude, what you have is a connection to feeling, right?
Yes.
You have a feeling that goes with whatever it is that you're putting this positive emotion into. And because we did gratitude so often, we got used to having this feeling of positivity in ourselves and also in our teams. And then we wanted this feeling to kind of stay. And so now we started looking at the clients that we had, the people we were dealing with, the suppliers that we deal with to get some of our jobs done. And not all of them measured up to the same level of feeling. So now for Amber and I, as the business owners, we look at the feeling side of things more than the money side. Whereas it used to just be focused on money first.
Yeah.
Feelings, nothing.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was like that for years. And even between each other, it's changed.
Yeah.
When we first started the business, I was a different dude. I was like, really like, because I was the sales guy and I came from a sales background. In a sales environment, the salesmen rule the planet, and anyone else who's not part of sales team kind of like subordinate. So I actually used to treat Amber as if she was like a staff member. Hey, that was shit. Like, it was probably the biggest learning I've learned is that's not a really good way to run a relationship, a business, or a company, or anything.
No.
And we stopped it really quickly because it just wasn't feeling good. Wasn't making you happy. Wasn't making me happy.
No,
It was
I don't want to
making me
be
more
your
stressed out.
I don't want to be your staff member.
No, but it took me a long time to realize that having, and really by going through a grateful practice, that having people on board on your vision is more important in the long-term phase than making money.
Yeah, because if you're just chasing the money all the time, you're probably not going to do as good a job as if it was something that you're really passionate about or you really believe in. So what's going to happen is those clients, you'll lose those because you'll be like, and you won't do it properly. They'll feel that as well.
Yeah.
So your energy towards them and their business is not going to be 100%. So that client, you'll lose them. Then you'll end up in the same spot, needing to get a new client again, right? So you're just going through that cycle over and over.
Over and over.
So you might as well go with the clients that actually, or the brands, the businesses that you really resonate with, because then you'll work your hardest with them and you'll do things over and above, and then they'll see that and they'll reciprocate.
And we've been pretty grateful, but also very, very lucky to be and have worked with the companies that we've worked with over the years. Like, they range from platforms with TikTok and LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, right through to, products and brands like Motorola and Intel and a whole bunch more. Like,
Beats by Dre.
we've been so lucky to work with all of these amazing companies from all over the world, and we're still doing it. Like,
Yeah,
how many years? It's almost been a decade.
it has been.
It's been a decade.
Yes.
Oh my God. You know what's funny? We didn't even celebrate 10 years.
Oh, look.
Do you know what? We had to put a reminder in our calendar to
God.
remind each other of our wedding anniversary, because we don't even know when that is.
We're terrible.
So busy, we forgot.
We're terrible.
That's,
But we did celebrate. What did we do?
We did. We actually we took some time off to go down to, go up to, I should say, the Sunshine Coast, which is
So beautiful. I lost my pasty whiteness, although it's coming back now because it's pretty
that
cold
place.
here in Melbourne.
Oh well, we'll have to go back to Sunshine.
No, I could live there. Apart
pretty
from
good.
you couldn't with
I
the
could.
cockroaches.
No, that part, no.
Yeah.
No, fuck that. Fuck cockroaches. I'm grateful for many creatures in this world, but cockroaches is not one of them, I'm afraid.
So, you
Not
know
one.
how Cabrasca's like
Fuck
this
that.
big, tough guy. Well, when it comes to cockroaches,
Fuck cockroaches.
he screams like a little bit.
No. It's not
No,
little bitch.
what happened
It
when
is-
when that big massive cockroach came out? What did you do?
Yeah, so, first of all, she's underplaying the size of these fucking cockroaches,
They were
right?
this big.
They were like the size of my hand.
No, they weren't.
Right? And they were chasing her as she was trying to spray it with
Yeah,
a
but
killing
were
spray.
you helping
and they
me?
didn't even give a shit.
Were you helping me?
They were lit. Nah, fuck
Did
no.
you
I
help
was
me?
like on the couch going, nah, I'm not going.
Exactly. And then what did you say?
Oh, boom, kill the cockroach. I said,
Kill the cockroach.
I said, I'm not
And you
moving to sunshine.
And then you just stayed on the couch and put your feet up, and then I had to run around
Gonna
trying
move
to find the cockroach and trying to
Oh,
find
dude,
something
look.
to kill it with, and they didn't have any
I'm
spray
just
in
saying,
that place.
I'm not a big fan of
No.
bugs that are bigger than my body.
But
especially
wait.
like something that big. This thing was huge, and
But-
there was two of them, and they were
Wait,
running
yes,
up the wall. and
no. So what happened was we saw the one, and then I was trying to spray one.
They were having
and
a
then
conference.
He ran and had a conference with this other one that was just as big, and then they were having like this like korero here under the table.
They had a meeting.
And then the other one comes running towards me, and I'm trying to spray it, and it just kept running, and then I was like, "Fuck
And it
that!" And
didn't
then I
die.
let it go under the couch, and
didn't
then I was
die.
like, "Good night, I'm going to bed," and I left it under Cabrasca's couch. He was sitting on.
So if you are going to visit Queensland, take a massive fucking flamethrower with you, so you can pack it in your bag. As soon as you get there, kill them all.
Look.
Those things are massive, though, dude.
Listen. They are all creatures of
Scary.
this earth, and you should respect them because we're probably in their house, right?
I'm grateful for
And-
flamethrowers that kill giant-sized
Look,
bugs.
I'm grateful that in Melbourne
I'm
we
grateful
don't
that my
experience
wife
those.
goes to try and kill
No,
these
man,
fucking bugs.
far out. You just sit there, no. Get up. You gotta
Dude,
get
this
up.
thing was massive. You're like fully underplayed. It was huge. It was huge.
Thanks, babe. I'm just
You
so
did well there.
glad.
You did good.
I'm so glad that
I'll protect you if it's a robber, though. Like, that guy's
I don't
got
know.
no
What if the
fucking
robber's
chance.
dressed in a bloody cockroach suit?
Oh, well,
Then you're not
might be
gonna
fucked.
save me from anything.
If he tries to rob us
Fuck.
in a
Can you
cockroach
imagine?
suit,
If
I'm
you
fully going off on him.
you would go and hide under the cupboard. Babe, there's a giant
No way.
cockroach.
No way.
Ah.
That cockroach guy's not going to last. He's not going to last.
Whatever.
Anyway, back to the topic. We're talking about
See, I'm grateful.
gratitude. We're talking about ambition and how this has helped our business go for like 10 years now. Working in 3 countries, Asia, around Hong Kong, China, all the way through Europe and US, all the way in Australia and New Zealand. And now the Pacific Island region. We now work in Samoa, Fiji, where else? PNG, which is Papua New Guinea.
New
Man, it's been a
Caledonia.
crazy 10 years. I don't want to like grow it anymore. I'm kind of good. Do you want to go set up any others?
Look, I'm happy to grow it in the Sunshine Coast, mate. With me and my cocky friends.
You and your cocky friends. Yeah, you can fucking
And the
have all
cat.
them.
Do you know she would love those cockroaches because she loves bugs
I don't
so
know.
much?
I reckon they'll eat her.
Oh yeah, they probably would.
They're massive.
But see, my story today of the cat. See, that's one thing I'm very grateful for is our cat because she's so entertaining. She is scared of everything: trucks, doors, doors opening,
But she gives the best cuddle.
footsteps,
She's like the most cutest cat ever.
paper.
She also sleeps in our bed. She
Not when we're sleeping
she
in it.
puts herself
But
in
wait,
the bed.
so she's scared of all those things, but not bugs. And then she
Oh, no,
spotted a bug on the window when she was sitting on the bed with me this morning, and she just stared at it and stared at it and stared at it. And she went to go get it, but it was too high. So what did I do? I was like, okay, I'll get it down for you, because I thought she was going to play with it. So I got the bug down with your socks, and
Use my socks.
use your socks to get the bug down. Yeah, and it was just like this little fly thing. I don't know what it was. And then I was like, and then she jumped up, and then she got it when it was low enough. And then I was like, oh, how's your bug?
What did you expect her to do?
She
That's
just
what
ate
she
it
does
straight away.
with all bugs.
And I was like, oh, I thought she was going to play with it for a bit more.
All she does is play with it and then eat it.
Yeah. So those cockroaches,
She won't do
they'd
that
be
with
a
them, man.
full meal for her.
They would, I reckon they'd knock her out.
You reckon? Oh, they were having a conference.
They're pretty big.
Pretty big.
They're pretty massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, not keen on cockroaches at all. That was the only thing that spoiled my trip, actually, going up there. The
Well,
cockroaches.
it's better than the last
The rest
one.
of it was awesome. I was waking up at like 4:30 in the morning every morning because the sun's up really early in Queensland.
And the birds.
Birds are up walking down the beach for like, oh, it was so good.
It was beautiful. It was hot.
It was so
It was
good.
sunny. I was very grateful. And we did a lot of healing
We did
up
heaps.
there. We did a lot of good stuff. Ate a lot of food. We went and saw the birds. I am now the bird whisperer.
Yeah, we went to a bird sanctuary. Bird sanctuary?
Yeah.
It was so, like,
It was so
the whole
cool.
place was amazing. Yeah, a good trip. A very good trip for our, we
For
last
our-
minute remembered it was
Yes, for
our
our
anniversary.
Yeah, no, it was good.
It was. Actually, I think it's probably the first time we've even celebrated.
Oh, we have a
We've
couple
had
of
dinners,
times,
but
but
we haven't
yeah,
gone away.
no,
That was nice.
yeah,
It was nice, babe.
Yeah.
It was a good trip.
yeah.
See, and I'm extremely grateful for the ability to be able to do that.
Exactly. So that's the thing. Like, if people are getting complacent, like, oh, this business is hard. Oh, I can't be bothered with working with these clients. They're just annoying me and they take so much from me. Well, we can, if we were to ever think like that, then we can just be grateful that those clients provide the money that we now have to go on holiday and have a great holiday.
See, business is hard. That's what people don't really talk enough about, I think. They all get caught up, and there's a lot of people creating content around being a business owner and entrepreneur and all the cool stuff you get to do, like traveling and, you know, spending money and all that
And
kind of
all
stuff.
you do is
and-
sit home and make TikTok videos.
But it's not true. Owning a business is probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. And keeping it going is even harder. But then keeping it going and running a business with the person that you also are married to
Yes.
is so full on.
Yeah.
So full on. So in order for
Very
all of
shiny.
that to be working in a way where it's beneficial for both of us to do it full time and our team to do it full time, yeah, it's especially when you create it from nothing, there is a level of gratitude that we have for every single client, every single person, every single piece of content we've ever made, that I'm pretty proud of the team. I'm proud of us.
Yes.
We've come a long way, but it wasn't fast, right?
No. And
Wasn't
that
fast.
brings us to the other thing. Patience.
No one has patience these
No,
days.
especially not the kids these days.
No
the
one
kids
has-
these days.
No one has patience anymore.
Back in my day, we used to wait 10 years to get a letter.
Well, that's because you had to wait 10 years to get a letter.
Yes. And now, These kids get instant messages.
Oh, God. Just go cook us some scones, Nina.
Oh, I love me a scone.
But it's true. Patience is one of those things that you are either really, really good at or you learn the hard way. For me, I learned patience the hard way was from having children. And when you have children, they teach you patience.
Look, I learned
They
patience the hard
teach
way
you
too by
patience.
marrying Cabrasca.
I teach her patience
Yes,
because I'm
because-
her child. But I got taught how about patience
It's like
by
you
having my own children.
and Levi and the cat.
We're
I'm
very patient
patient,
people.
man. I'm patient now that I've got you three living
But
with me.
it's patience with like it's funny because like with my son, for example, there are things that I know he's making decisions on where I know it's probably
gonna
the
turn
worst
to
decision
shit.
he could ever go down. But as a parent, you kind of want to protect him and stop him from doing that stuff. But from an adult to adult point of view, he kind of needs to go through it.
You've got to be patient.
So it's hard sometimes when you have to watch someone go and crash themselves into a wall, like like head first. But that's part of patience.
It's the only way they'll learn.
It is the only way they'll learn.
Yeah.
Because if I stop and save him from every outcome in this world, then he'll end up being this little protected.
He'll never leave
And he
his
won't leave
little
my house.
box.
But he's done so well. I'm really proud of him. He's working full time. He's bloody doing his food. He's on a food thing at the moment.
He's eating properly instead of just eating chicken
Uber out
nuggets and
instead
pizza.
of Uber Eats and pizza.
Well, that's good for a 19-year-old. Doing his
Oh, he's doing well.
macros,
doing
going to
well.
the gym.
He's training heaps. He's doing his
Made a
he's
female
doing the work.
friend.
He's being responsible.
Yeah.
And I don't think if we didn't practice this
If we weren't patient,
combination of patience and
Yeah.
gratitude and helping him along his journey, I don't think he
No.
would be doing the things he is. And I'm really proud of him.
Yes.
He's doing good stuff.
So, excuse me, how does patience apply to business? I feel
Whoa, man.
when it comes to gratitude, so it's like a progression, right? So you say your things that you're grateful for the day, and then that gets you in a vibration or an energy of being able to receive, and then that's when you can start manifesting. But it doesn't mean, oh, if I say I'm grateful for this thing every day, then and for 2 weeks, then the next day I'm going to get it, or the next day I'm going to get more of it. It doesn't work like that. It's
Yeah.
like patience is when you, like you just leave it up to the universe and you just remain grateful
Yeah.
for what you already have and just kind of let it flow and let it happen.
It's like you're not forcing anything to happen, and you're not chasing anything to happen. Because in those first years of business, that's what we were doing, right? We were either trying to force a client to come and
Yeah.
work with us,
Yeah.
or we were chasing a client to come and work with us. And what we've learned over the years is that doing either never results into good business.
Yeah, and
it
things
actually
have-
results into the worst business.
Yeah, because then sometimes then they're not ready and you're not,
Yeah.
you know, and it doesn't work out the way that you thought it would.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, I mean,
It always
it's
worked
easy
out
to
terrible.
fall into that pattern, isn't it? It's like, go, we've got to do this now. And,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and there's worry and blah, 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 blah. But, and then you're not letting it happen
Naturally.
naturally.
Yeah. And so now there's a process of where we will go and we'll do our best at trying to bring a client on board. But if the client doesn't agree, or if we don't agree, then there is
Or
this,
if they're not ready.
then it's fine for us to just like say no.
Yeah, like perfect example is one we pitched recently, but they weren't ready. They're not in the space of
No.
what they don't need what we can offer right now.
But in a couple
But
of months they will.
Yeah, exactly.
And we could be hardcore and keep going at
Going
them
and
like
going,
every
going,
month and
yeah.
trying to get that contract or trying to get that campaign or try to get them on board because it is a massive deal if we do get it. But we don't do that anymore.
No.
We kind of just allow the cards to fall the way they're supposed to and do our best to just focus on what we really need to do, which is keep the business going,
And
keep
look
our team
after-
happy, keep
look-
our clients that we have happy.
Mhm.
And then if we get these new ones that we've talked to, which normally that's what happens, they come when they're ready to come, then we get to do great work with them once they're on board. But
Yeah.
we don't force anything anymore. We don't push ourselves out there in that way anymore. It's very value based. It's very done at the right time, and it's not chasing them to be a client of ours either.
Yeah, and I think
it's very different to how we work.
What I've found over the years of working with clients in different countries is some countries, they're naturally, the way they do business is aggressive and impatient. So you're going to have to, like, we've worked with one country in particular, where they just like, now. I don't care. Their thing is 996. They work from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. And that's in the West. We're not used to that.
No one does that.
They expect that of all their staff and all their suppliers and all their agencies. And if you can't keep up, they become very impatient. So I think patience is not done in every single region of the world.
No, it's
Business
not.
is done in different ways, but the way that we like to work is to have patience in what we do.
Yeah, and we like setting up strong foundations, things that are going to last, long-lasting clients, long-lasting relationships.
Not one-offs.
Not just one-off short things that are here for 1 month and then see you later. And there's a lot of companies out there that are structured in like real quick money, but it doesn't work. There's no longevity in that. There's no scalability in that. There's no way to build and sustain things if it's done in this way. It just doesn't work. So we don't do that with our company. We haven't done it with our clients. A lot of our guys that come on with us, they stay with us for a very long time, 4 or 5 years at a time, sometimes longer. So it's interesting how we have evolved. It's not until I sit down and talk about it that we actually think about what we've done. It's pretty crazy.
I think we're more chill now. Maybe that's the old age.
I reckon it's because we've seen and done pretty much everything.
We've done a lot.
We've done so much. We're even doing government clients right at the moment, like running for campaign in office. Like, I never thought I'd be doing politics because my dad was a politician. I never thought I'd be doing it. But for some reason, my father's brought me a politician. So that's interesting. So yes, there's so many different things that we do now. And it is on the back of being grateful and making a real conscious decision that both Amber and I, as directors of the company, steer our ship in the right way so that we can get the best out of the opportunities that get presented to us. Hey.
Yeah, I agree.
Is there any other things that you use gratitude for outside of that? Outside of business?
I mean, I use it every day in general, not just for business. So part of like my 3 gratitudes for the day, one will usually be work related, one will be...
Oh, really?
Yeah, one will be personal, and the other one is usually based around the cat. Because she takes up so much of my life.
You have one whole gratitude.
Yeah, because she's so beautiful. Like, you know how beautiful she is. Can't handle it.
She is beautiful.
You're obsessed with her. Every morning she's like, purr,
I can't not say
and then
hello
you
to
go
her.
and you open the door and you go out and have cuddles with her and you get her antenna off her head.
Oh man,
you know?
that was so funny. That was the funniest part. So my cat, when we before we left to go to Sunshine Coast, my cat had this little thing sticking out the top of her head. We didn't know what it was. It looked like my son had touched her with food on his hands or something, and it was like sticking up. We called it an antenna, but she would never let us touch it to take it off.
I thought it was a tick stuck in her head, and I was starting to get worried.
It was changing colour.
Oh man, it went white.
Anyway, we came back from Sunshine Coast, and I was sitting out with her at 3 a.m. in the morning, as I often do with this cat, because she wakes me up. And I'm sitting out there, and then she's like, I need to get this thing off my head. And then I said to her, how are we going to do that? And she goes, I'll lick your thumb and you can rub it on my head. So she licked my thumb, and I was rubbing her head as she was licking, and then I rub it again, and then she licked, and then rub it again. And this went on for about half an hour. Half an hour I was letting the cat do this activity. And I was
Speaking
like,
of the cat,
she
she's
is
meowing. Oh my gosh, she must have heard us talking
long
about
story
it.
short, we got it off. She now no longer has an antenna. She's just a normal cat. With normal cat
How
stuff.
did she tell you all these things, that she wanted the thing taken off her head and for you to...
Oh, she just has a way of talking to
You
us.
see? She talks.
She does.
She's here now. She's like,
She's wanting to come in and be on the podcast.
hurry up. I want my
She
dinner.
actually
Even
wants
though
to
she
get
knows
food.
that
That's
her
what it
dinner
really
is an hour and a half away. Nah, she'll try it on every day, mate.
Animals. Though I love animals. They teach you just as much as people do. To be
Yes,
honest.
I've got a
If
new
not more.
boyfriend.
If not more. Yes.
A new animal boyfriend.
You have a new animal boyfriend?
Yeah,
Who's that?
up in the Sunshine Coast.
Who's that?
That little bird.
Oh, you've got birds, yes.
Yeah, he came
Yes, you
and
do.
sat on my shoulder in this
Yes.
bird sanctuary.
Well, the
and-
bird's being outdone by the cat at the
Yeah,
moment.
and then he sat on my shoulder, and then he was like talking to me and stuff, and then he would walk up and down my arm, and then he comes over here, and then he was like
He's a pretty
right
cute
up
bird.
to my ears, like, and I was like, oh really? Oh okay.
Have you
And
posted any photos?
I haven't posted. Oh, I posted a video, and then he
Oh.
put his wing up like that to go around me, and then Cabrasca took some photos of that. Oh my god, he was the cutest little. And then one of the bird keepers or whatever they're called, she was like, "Oh, that's Bradley or whatever his name is. He's got a girlfriend. Oh, that Bradley, he's a flirt." They know.
He liked you, old Braddles.
Yeah,
Old Bradley.
but my girlfriend is out there.
Yes, the cat is hungry. We need to go feed her, otherwise
Yes.
she would disown
Anyway, yes, gratitude every day. That's my advice.
you.
Even if it's the smallest thing, that try to find 3 things to be grateful for. Even it could be that you woke up that morning.
Or you had a good sleep.
Yeah, or your legs work. You know, like
Yeah, or you've got fresh
you
water
have
to drink.
food, you
You've
have
got
a
food
shower,
in your cupboards.
your
Sometimes
family is.
We get so stressed
healthy.
with all this other stuff, eh? Bogs us down for no
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah, when we need to look at what the good things are in our life, because that's how we get more of the good.
It is. So if you don't have a practice around gratitude or patience, or even just looking at how you can improve your life, we definitely recommend implementing a simple 3 gratitudes a day. A simple 3 gratitudes. However you do those 3, totally up to you. Amber does hers at
I
night,
like to write mine.
and she has a topic for each one. I do it on the way to the fridge, which works for me.
Works for
and
you.
Go through at least 4 or 5 a day. As long as there's no cockroaches. Any of those, well, it's game over, mate.
Oh, mate.
That's been our podcast for today, people. Thank you so much for joining in. Next week, we'll be back again. Talking about something. I don't know. We'll find a topic.
Yeah. And we'll hopefully be back on Sunday with the tarot reading.
Well, actually, no, we won't be, because next
Oh.
week we've got events all week, so we may not be doing a
Oh,
podcast next week.
Maybe on Tuesday. We'll see.
We'll work it
We'll
out.
see how busy we are. But Sunday we should try.
Are we going to do one this Sunday?
Yeah, a tarot read.
Let's do Sunday.
We'll do a tarot reading.
We'll do a tarot reading one this Sunday. So if you're around and you want to get a free tarot reading from us, Amber and I have been doing a lot of work on tarot to upskill ourselves on that side.
Yes, we've been doing a lot of
It's been
tarot
pretty
workshops.
cool.
It's been pretty cool.
It's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Our teacher, Nigel Eru, if you are looking at getting anything to do with tarot or even just a reading, he's an amazing,
He's
talented
based
man.
in Melbourne, but he
here in Melbourne.
does Zoom readings
Yeah.
and healings.
Speaking of Nigel, we are actually going to be starting a new segment within Creative Talk where we're going to be interviewing some of the people that have helped us train in different modalities.
Yes. So we're going to be interviewing, what do you want to call them? Spiritual entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I would
that a
just,
thing?
I-
They're entrepreneurs, so we're going to be talking about business, but
Yep.
also they're in the world of
Kia
spirituality.
ora, my brother. Yeah, we'll see you back. We'll see you back in the lobby. I'll be on there straight
Oh,
after
dear.
this.
See, I'm grateful when Cabrasca does a full day of work and he doesn't play.
I have done my work
Fortnite.
for today, and this
Oh,
is the last
okay.
part. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
now,
You
Yeah.
haven't seen the emails I'm sending you for more work to do.
she's lying. She's got nothing. She's
I've
just
got
trying to make
heaps,
me
man.
do
I've got to
stuff.
get back to my desk and do some work.
Anyway, what
unlike
were you saying
others.
about the spiritual people?
Yeah, like they're
These are spiritual teachers who have
spiritual
actually helped us.
entrepreneurs. I don't know if that's a spiritpreneur. Spiritpreneur. That's a
Could
hard.
be a thing. I don't think it's a thing, but yeah, they're across all different modalities, from tarot reading, mediumship, spirit guides, energy healing, multicultural healing. There's a whole bunch that's coming up, and we've gone through or worked with them personally, so we think these people are kind of cool.
Yeah.
And we'd love to share their stories with you as well.
Yes.
So we will be doing that. We're going to be having interviews at least once a month where we can talk to a different person and a different modality, and we'll share that with you here on our
Yeah.
podcast.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Have a good afternoon.
Okay, bye.
Bye.